Lady Boule, and I hope you're having a fabulous day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, for your comments, and thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. Well, y'all are honest to a fault. Everybody disagreed with me about the summit with white people. And some of these comments were so funny that I thought I would share some of them with you. So, I don't think I've ever had a video where everybody disagreed with me. Nobody thought this was a good idea, and for very good reasons, based on past experience and based on present actions. So y'all disagreed with me. And so let's see what some of y'all say. At Mr. Knight said, LOL. Lady Boule wants to have a summit with WHITE folks? Oh, hell no. At Tyrone Stevenson, 3853 says, it would be mandatory to begin every summit with a good fist fight to break the ice. LOL. Just kidding. You ain't kidding. You ought to be shaming yourself. At Sandra Sakia Sequa 4445, I probably didn't pronounce that right. I apologize. She says, receive one of the highest number of hearts from you. Oh yes, because you're a very good subscriber. She says, in my opinion, there should be a summit on white crime on African Americans, past, present, and future. After that, pay reparations. Good morning. Direct and to the point. At Nicolette 0266 says, we, FBA, should never gather in one room with white Americans. Nope. The ancestors said hell no. We can Zoom, and even that requires security. A Zoom meeting requires security. Now that tells us a lot about what you think about our fellow Americans. At M. Flournoy 2971 says, the U.S. has been at war 225 out of 243 years since 1776 with the entire planet. What evidence have you ever seen of any feasible attempts in the efforts department? The laws are already on the books, and they change laws on the fly to ensure their own benefit. These are not normal people. Whoever thought integration was a good idea needs their head examined. I appreciate your effort in looking for solutions, but this one is not it. Okay, M. Flournoy, I think this is as respectful a disagreement with receipts that it could be, and I appreciate it. And there is nothing that you have said that I disagree with. I am one of those people who integrated a school. And I can tell you, whoever thought integration was a good idea needs to have their head examined. I was in a segregated school. It was a small school, but it was unified. The community was unified. The churches, the school, and the community worked together. We were happy. We didn't have any self-esteem problems. We didn't have any black-on-black crime problem. This was a small town. My hometown still doesn't have a black-on-black crime problem. But we were doing fine, and we were making progress, and we could see our communities growing. Black people had businesses in the community, and it wasn't completely self-sustained, but it was getting there. Then all of a sudden, somebody comes up and tells us there's something else we need to do. Every time it looks like we're going to get on our feet and we get our bearings, then they come up with something and throw us off our game by making us think that there's something else we need. And it usually has something to do with them. Well, America had to open up the society because America was going all over the world talking to other people about human rights and finding fault with what everybody else was doing. But we had a segregated society of the people who had been here from the beginning, building the society, and we couldn't even go downtown and get a drink of water or go to a movie theater without being harassed. So they did this little minimum amount of integration that was all weighted toward benefiting white people. And whereas some black people say they gained, a lot of black people did not gain anything in this so-called integration. And now we have failing schools, we have a failing healthcare problem, and our communities, which used to be unified and self-sustaining, are in shambles. And I take issue with the people who say that black men have always been absentee fathers. Now, this is a new thing, and these are young people who are saying this. But when I started school in my small hometown, there were 25 of us in that class, 25 or 30, and all of us lived in the house with our mamas and daddies, and our daddies were working and taking care of their families. At Tradena Brown 2249 says, Lady Boule, our trauma must be discussed. Then at ALNTR 2872 says, yes, that's a good place to start, not meeting with the abuser. Okay, I get it. So at Anita Hall 3340 says, black people, let this go. White people are who they are. We are different. And then Ivyworth 862 says, say that. I mean, she agrees with it. And ALNTR 2872, who has had quite a bit to say on this thread, said, yep, after 400 years, it should be obvious. Well, this is very telling. I think America really does need to be paying attention to these social media platforms, because if black Americans who've been here from the beginning, built the country, have such a cynical attitude about the people who are running this country, that does not bode well for this country. Now, what I will say is that there's a group of black Americans who think that falling in love with white people is a solution. Let somebody post a video that says something about interracial marriage that's not favorable, and you'll have a third of your comment section coming after you. And my feeling is, how are you falling in love with people that you can't even sit down and have a conversation with? I'm all about building up the black community. So we really need to come to an agreement about what we believe, about how we can build and grow as a black America. And Irene Shepherd 4268 says, Lady Boule, I agree with you, but one thing to take into consideration, we've tried that before and it failed. At ALNTR 2872 is back here again. She says, so if you know the outcome, why would you agree? I like Lady Boule, but I disagree with her on this. And that is exactly what you should do. This is an intelligent audience, and you have your own critical thinking skills, so you don't have to agree with me. I'm agreeing with you, but I thought I would ask. I wanted to see what you thought about it, because again, we get confusing messages from black Americans. On the one hand, they don't see color, they don't care, it doesn't matter who you love, black women ought to divest, black men don't like black women. So this audience is pretty consistent, and I like the fact that you are in agreement, because basically what I hear you saying is that first, they don't respect us, and we're not going to deal with somebody who doesn't respect us. And I absolutely agree with that. And what I also hear you saying is that we're not going to keep bending over backwards with the same people to get the same results. So you are your own intelligent audience, and I did want to know what you thought about it, and you have made that very clear. So we don't have to have this discussion again, but I think we should keep the conversation going. You do believe that we should be more unified, should come together and come up with our own system and systems of doing things, and I'm totally in agreement with that. I wasn't sure how this conversation was going to go. I knew there were going to be some that would disagree with me, but I didn't expect the entire thread to disagree, and that's pretty much what you've done. And I've gone back and looked at some more comments since I started this video, and it's still pretty much the same. So we have lost confidence, if we ever had any confidence in America. And there was a time when black people did have confidence in America, when black people did try. But then we know what happened. We got the massacres and we got the tragedies. And so now it's a no-go. And when we have these black so-called leaders and politicians who would get up and say that America is not a racist country, it really doesn't help. It doesn't help at all, because they're in denial and they are looking out for themselves and what they can gain by getting up and saying things like that, throwing their own people under the bus, ignoring history, and telling lies, hoping that they will get elected or appointed to the next job. Okay, I took an L on this one, but I appreciate your input. Thank you for listening. Let me know what you think about the video. Subscribe to the channel. Give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment. Share the video. And as always, have a great day.